So my question to you is simple. Are you ready for an artificial intelligent being to be your physician? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about ChatGPT? Everyone's talking about him. He's the bot, robot, android, artificial intelligent being that's the new rage across the entire world right now. Everybody wants to get in on the action, and everybody's impressed on how smart, how intelligent it is. So it shouldn't be any surprise that doctors are asking the very same questions. So a group of doctors, as reported by Alicia Ault, AULT, January 26, 2023, decided to put this ChatGPT to the test and decided to see just how well it would do taking the medical board exam. One of them is called the USMLE, a licensing exam with 3 parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 1 basically being just basic multiple choice questions. As you get closer to number 3, it's more clinical, and it's about diagnosing, making your best guess after you examine the possible problems, the symptoms that the patient presents with. And you go down this tree diagram and decide, does the patient get a CT scan, an ultrasound, an MRI? What do you do with the patient? Do you call a consultant? Especially if you're in the emergency room, you can imagine how useful ChatGPT as your virtual assistant physician standing right next to you instead of a clunky textbook. A doctor could say, hey, I've got a whole lot of things going on right now. I've got in room 1, I've got someone having a seizure. Room 2, someone's got a gunshot wound. Room 3, I have a child who has a temperature of 103. And in many hospitals, believe it or not, you have one emergency room doctor, just one. And he's got to take care of everything that rolls in that night, including stat calls on the basic floor of the hospital. Who goes to the codes? Many times it's the emergency room doctor that may have to go and assist before some of the other doctors or at home can get there. So if you had an intelligent being, how would you feel if he showed up at your bedside, maybe in a physical form as a robot with a stethoscope, and he's there with the nurse? And how would you feel if he's making some basic diagnostic decisions until the doctor is able to get back to you after taking care of this gunshot wound or the severe burn patient? Now you're there maybe with some abdominal pain, some nausea. Would you rather wait for that doctor to show up sometimes 10 hours later before he gets to you? There's some situations where you have to wait that long. And you have the ChatGPT right there that can order that CT scan for you, that ultrasound, and get you a bed that much quicker. Would you say, no, I'm not going to have this? Or would you say, you know what? I've heard some really great things about this ChatGPT. I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. Yes. And then just run those orders through to the doctor and let's get on with it. Well, whether you like it or not, this AI is coming to a hospital near you in the very near future. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It may not be this year, but within a year or two, there will be a ChatGPT assisting doctors. And how do I feel about it as a family medicine physician for over 20 years? You know what? I'm not intimidated by the AI. I'm actually pretty happy about it. Because rather than to carry around a pocket full of books and these heavy, clunky books and trying to figure things out, and you're tired, you've got a million things going on, I wouldn't mind having this virtual assistant that I can, throw bounce a few questions off of him, just like you would a colleague. You don't have to do everything he says. You are the ultimate arbiter and you're the final word. But, have you ever worked with ChatGPT? By the time you type your question in, sometimes I just cut and paste it in. And by the time I cut and paste the question, the answer is already there within seconds. I mean, detailed bullet points, full explanations to any question that I have asked. So it's absolutely incredible and amazing that all this knowledge can be pulled together by into one artificial being in such a way that it can spit out answers in a matter of seconds. It's absolutely astonishing. So as a physician, I think it's a great tool. I look at it as a tool, and I'm not intimidated by it. And I don't think that they're going to replace us. So, matter of fact, this AI bot was asked, did it believe it had the potential to replace the USMLE exam itself? And the AI said no. It's just about natural language, and it's not here to replace us. It has no intention of doing so. So I think that we are the creators of this artificial intelligence, and we just have to stay on top of it and prevent it from hopefully getting into the wrong hands, because you can see the potential for harm, but the potential for good is there. And harm, the potential for harm has existed since the beginning of time, but we have always been able to stay on top of it. And good, I believe, will always outweigh the bad. So let's take a look at it from a positive standpoint and welcome ChatGPT. I'm happy with it. And I'm wondering how you feel about it. So put a comment down below and give us your honest opinion, because as physicians, we're going to be grappling with these questions. So you take care. And thank you for watching, and see you soon.